Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. Can you believe it's March 1st? Spring is just around the corner, and guess what? So is camp. So let's get ready. Welcome today to the CARE Camps Grant Application Webinar. I'm excited to see your faces, so put your camera on. It's been a couple of months since we've seen one another. Glad you're here, and we are going to, I'm going to give a shameless plug here for some of our upcoming education coming up March 21st, the COCA Medical Town Hall. And then in April, we are having a free staff training summit for you guys. It's going to be over 3 days, 3 different sessions. So we'll be sending out more information about that soon. And then May 10th, we are going to have a session with Dr. Brandon Briery. He's the COCA president, and he's going to talk about when our campers come to camp with more than just their luggage and their cancer diagnosis. And before we get started today, I wanted to take a moment and just remind you, we are very privileged as a COCA member camps to have CARE Camps as our donor. They help support the professional education that we do for these webinars, as well as throughout the annual conference. So I'm just proud that we can be here today and you guys can meet Gwen, Erica, and Lexi, which are 3 members of the CARE Camps team. But before I get to that, I want to take a moment and also introduce, if you have not met our new COCA program manager, Callie Campbell, is on this call today. So I wanted to take a moment and recognize that today is Callie's first day. So everybody, if you will give her a warm welcome, I would appreciate it. In the chat or turn on your mic. All right, great. Thank you. Okay, without further ado, you're going to meet Gwen Sullivan, the Executive Director of CARE Camps, and Erica Lanter, our Communications Director for CARE Camps, and Lexi Beckford, Program Coordinator, who is going to be working directly with you on these grant applications. So without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to them.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi, everybody. Wow, it's just great to see you all and look forward to meeting you in person, hopefully sometime this year here. Thank you, Lexi, for pulling up our presentation here. Yep. First of all, just hi. My name is Gwen, and I am the new Executive Director for CARE Camps. I am very proud and pleased to be joined by my colleagues, Erica Lanter and Lexi Bickford. You'll be hearing from them as well during the presentation here. And I also really wanted to acknowledge Karen McAndrew. I know a lot of you all have worked closely with her. And Karen is still on board helping us out with this leadership transition and, you know, just our internal organizational transition here. And we are so grateful for her support. Jennifer Mercer is also remains our development director. And so our team is really fleshed out from what you all knew of this time last year. CARE Camps really grew exponentially here over the past couple of years. And, you know, the board recognized we just had to have a more filled out internal structure to support the growth and to continue to keep growing, because the whole reason we live and breathe is because of you all and the services and the support and the programs that you all provide these precious children and their families. So, anyway, we're super excited here to be here to get to see you. I'm going to pause just for a moment. If you're not on mute, would you please put yourself on mute so we don't have too much background noise here. Thank you. Let's see, what else? Also, I'm not going to share that much about myself. If you can, I'm going to, a shameless plug using Jennifer's terms here, link with me on LinkedIn so we can, get to know each other at least there. And I want you to know that, my door is always open here for you all. Lexi's going to be your main point person that, just know that I'm here. The whole team is here for you all and with you all. I actually started my career decades ago. We won't mention how many decades ago, but a few decades ago as a pediatric nurse. I then went on to do program development leadership in more the national and international space. And as good fortune and fate would have it, I, went around in a big old circle and landed here at Care Camp. So, what you all are doing and how you're being is really in my heart of hearts. So I feels like a returning back home, and I'm just thrilled to be in this position and to be a real partner with you all. And Care Camps is your partner here. So we learn from you, we grow from you, and we want to have, just a two-way exchange with you all for the greater good for these kids and their families. So Lexi, would you mind forwarding it? Thank you. For those that are just starting new here in your positions at camps or haven't gone through this process before, just a little background about Care Camps here. What I really love, just personally, because I'm a big fan of grassroots initiatives here, things that grow, from the ground up versus the top down. I mean, both are needed and necessary, but this one, I think, just really speaks to the power of the grassroots here. It was back in 1984 when a small group of KOA, the Campgrounds of America franchisees, got together and pulled some funding to support pediatric oncology camps. And this thing just naturally kind of grew and evolved to the point where the KOA corporate got involved. Care Camps was at one point in time called KOA Care Camps. We did drop the KOA portion of that because we wanted to, and with KOA's blessing, here really wanted to expand, our stakeholders, our donors, far and wide from beyond KOA. So we were also really fortunate here, about 10 years ago of forming this partnership with COCA here and this alliance so that the members, you all here, we would have a direct channel here to support the camps. And, with COCA and you all really focusing on quality assurance, then we can focus on providing the funding and grant support here. So that partnership continues to, grow and evolve. Jennifer actually attended our board meeting here a couple of weeks ago and really was able to enlighten our board members here, just with all of what you do. And so I'm really excited about, really strengthening our partnership together in many ways. Last year, we raised more than $24 million, or last year, I wish that's the goal. Since we started, we've raised more than 24 million in donations. Last year, we were able to support 132 camps here across North America. Here again, thanks to all the very generous, donors from corporate partners to campgrounds and individuals. So Lexi, let's go on to the next slide here. This is, just putting it out there. Our mission is to give joy, hope, and healing power of the outdoors to children with cancer and their families. at your camps. That's what, again, this is why we live and breathe. And our vision, of course, is that every child and family has this opportunity in some way, shape, or form. And I'm so heartened, to hear and learn more about all the creative ways that you are offering your camp programs and services. And particularly, it sounds like you all got really super creative, during, the COVID and pandemic. I know it's not over. And, there's a lot of nuances with that. And it sounds, from what I've been hearing and learning, you all really leaned in and created some really unique opportunities. So I'm eager to learn more about that. Our values, our partnership values here, passionate, collaborative, transparent, and inclusive. So that's who we are. Those are the shoes that we wear and that we walk in. And Lexi, how about the next slide? So again, we are a partnership together here, and with COCA directly, with you all. Again, this past year, we were able to provide 132 operating grants and 72 capital grants. Lexi's going to go in to tell you more about the distinction between the two and what we do. And also we do, as Jennifer mentioned, we do also provide funding support for professional development and education, within COCA. Next slide. And here's just a map of all the camps that we supported across North America this past year. There's actually a question in the application where we ask you for your latitude and longitude of where your camp actually exists. And that's the reason why, because so we can put you on the map here. So again, I just want to thank all of you all for what you do and who you are, and sharing that all with us. And we just, again, look forward to a very, fruitful year together, partnership, and so much more. So I want to turn it over here to our chief person in charge here, Lexi. Take it away.
Hi guys, I'm Lexi, your program coordinator. I will be kind of your go-to person as you're going through the application. If you have any questions, needs, definitely reach out to me. But first I want to go through the grant application timeline. As you all know, our application opened up on February 23rd, which was about a week earlier than normal. So we were super excited to give you guys a little extra time on that this year. We will be closing that application on March 31st. And then April 3rd through the 21st, we are going to have our grant committee review and make the selections. And then April 24th through the 28th, the camps, you all will be notified of your grant awards. And then May 1st through the 15th, we hope to have the checks sent to you all. So we're trying to stick to that timeline, and we're super excited about getting that out a little bit earlier to you all this year. This is kind of showing you where you can find information on our webpage. So if you go to our webpage up here, www.carecamps.org, and you go to our page, What Do We Do? And there's a little drop-down box, and it will open up the Care Camps grant application. And here you will find all the information you need for this year's application. You will find an information sheet here under Learn More About the Grant and Requirements little tab, and then you will also find where to apply. We are in the process of adding, we found out it was a need, which was great to find out, but we are in the process of adding a little PDF document of the application here so that you can print off the application and make any notes as needed. And then if there's anything else that we need to add to this page, we will make sure to do that as well. But this is where you will find the link to apply and any information you need. We have two types of grants. We have the operational grants and the capital grants. They are two separate grants, but they're in one application. So make sure you pay attention to that. The operational grant funds expenses related to the operation of your camp services and programs. And the operation expenses make up most of our funds. So that's where we kind of give out all of our funds that we have raised in the past year. The capital grants are for purchases specific items to improve your site, services, and programs. And Care Camps has a limited amount of funds available to help support this kind of grant option. So make sure you pay attention to that in the application. The capital grants is on the second portion of the application. The official grant application, I'm going to give Erica, our little marketing and communication director, credit for this little play on words. She's pretty creative with this fun stuff. So the operational grants is 52 questions, and that consists of a few different parts. It consists of the COCA affiliation, the camp general information, the camp sessions, and the camp staffing. And we're just trying to get information from you all so we can report back to our donors and keep our database up to par on all you guys' great information. And then on top of that, we have 5 documents that we need you to turn in as well. And those are your recent IRS 990 form or the Canadian T3010, certificate of liability insurance stating your most current amount of liability coverage, your financials for 2022. If your numbers are not available yet, you can submit your drafts, a projected budget for 2023, and then an audited financial statement for 2022. And if that's not available yet, you can submit 2021. The capital grants are 7 additional questions. Once again, Care Camps has a limited amount of funds to support the purchase of the capital items and improvements. And capital grants range from $3,500 to about $5,000. We try to keep it in that range so we can honor all of your requests. And then this is where the funds received from the capital grants must be spent within this year. So within 2023, it cannot be carried forward. We need a proof of purchase and a proof of payment are required for us to reimburse you. So how that works is you will apply for the capital grant. We will let you know if you've been approved for that amount. And then once you purchase the item, if you send us a receipt of that, we will reimburse you. And that's just to make sure that the money we are giving is going towards, the capital grant and for this year. This one's a fun one. This is question number 40 on the application is what is the average cost per day per child to attend your camp? So I am going to show you this fun little formula Excel spreadsheet that is meant to be easy and helpful. It's not meant to complicate things. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and we can help you walk through this process. So I'm going to pull up this little Excel spreadsheet, and you will see this on the application. If you just click on, there's a little link and it will open right up to your computer. And so I'm just going to give you a little example. Now, please note that my numbers are just my makeup numbers. I don't know exactly your guys' numbers off the top of my head. So we're just going to walk through this. So operating costs, let's say it's $150,000. Gifts in kind programming, let's just say it's $50,000. So that automatically will bring a value to $200,000. Now, if you are going to step 2, you only complete step 2 if these amounts were included in your operating costs from above. If they were not, then you can just put zeros through this next step 2, D through G. So we will just go ahead and put some numbers here and here. So we'll put 10,000 in depreciation, mortgage interest, and you just fill out the yellow sections. Let's put mortgage interest as 5,000, building repairs is 5,000, and capital improvements is 5,000. That will bring our ownership cost to 15,000 here in the red. And then fundraising costs, let's just say 2,000 for a number. So the cost to remove from number C, total cost, would be 27,000. So that brings your net operating cost to 173,000. Let's say the days of camps are 25 days, and let's say you have, I don't know, 85 kids. This would mean that it would be $81.41 per day for a child to attend your camp. Now, we know that that's a little on the conservative side. We know it costs more, but these were just numbers to show you how this formula sheet works. And once again, it's not meant to be complicated. So if you have any questions or want to walk through that, we can help you do that as well. I am now going to turn it over to Erica, our communication and marketing director, and she will walk through our marketing and communication requirements.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. I recognize many of your faces from COCA or former Zoom meetings, and it's just so great to see you again and connect. Before I jump into this year, I really want to thank you all for the efforts. Excuse me, we're fighting colds over here in Montana. I want to thank you for the efforts that you put in last year for the marketing and communications requirements. They were, I know they were somewhat difficult, and it was a process that made things a little harder for you during camp, but I want you to know that you knocked it out of the park. We have so many incredible photos, and we're just so grateful for your efforts. With that, I'm excited to tell you about the new marketing and communication requirements. So care camps, our primary goal is to connect our donors with your mission and your message so that we can get more funding for you to do the incredible things that you do at camp. And we know that the best way to do that is through connecting our donors to your kids with their photos and their stories. So that's what we are asking for this year. We are asking for two things. One is an impact story with an accompanying photo about a child, a family, a sibling, or a volunteer. And our goal really is to take one incredible photo and a short story about that child and put them together, and it really does create an impact. I know that photos, to me, photos make us feel something. And then if we can attach the background story or the current story, then it really just brings that impact home. So we're asking for you to do that. When you go onto our website and you look on the information sheet, it has a link under the impact story about a little boy named Antonio, and you can see that it's a great example of what we're looking for. The stories don't have to be long, they don't have to be in depth. We're really looking for impact here, just going right to the impact. You'll see in the example of Antonio, that particular story, we used a lot of his quotes because they are just really impactful. So there's an example of that. The second story that we're asking for, we're calling a full circle story. And this one is basically, where are they now? I know you all have campers who have gone on to do things in their lives that camp has been an integral part of, and they probably wouldn't have done without their camp experience. We have a board member, a new board member on care camps. Her name is Christina Herbert, and she is a child. She had cancer as a child and went to camp, and her message about camp and the way that she talks about it is so impactful and really an inspiration to our board. And we're excited to share her message to our donors. And so we're looking for stories like that. You can get as creative as you want with this. You could do a photo of where they are now. If you had a photo of where they were at camp, that would be incredible too. I will tell you that Care Camps turns 40 next year, and we are going to be using these full circle stories in our marketing next year in our celebration, but that will start in 2024. So we'd like those stories now, so we can use those. Again, on the website, you're good, Lexi. Again, on the website, there's an example of a full circle story that you can look at. If you feel compelled to do more than those 2 stories, I mean, bring it on. We'll take all the impact and inspiration we can get. We are asking again for a photo release signed by the families so that we have expressed permission to use their photos. Here's what you can expect from us when you get that photo release signed and when you send photos to us. We will do our best to keep the photo, the integrity of the photo as we apply it to our marketing materials. We want you to know that we feel honored to use these photos and honored and blessed to hear these stories, and that we will take we take it seriously and we'll take good care of them. You can see in this slide on the very left-hand side of the screen, you can see there's a little knee and some blowing hair. We took this photo and made it into a card, and we just cropped that person out. We just tightened the photo up a little bit, but we will be leaving backgrounds. We will be leaving the photos in their entirety. So you can expect that. The other thing that you can expect moving forward next year is crediting your camp on our communications. I am very excited to be able to say, Camp Tecumtum or Camp, Happiness is Camping, and to be able to connect you and to credit you. You guys are the ones doing this incredible work, and we're honored to aid your efforts. And so you'll see us connecting more with you on that level. The last thing that I want to talk about is in the event of a child passing. We actually had that happen yesterday. We had a slide up, and it was really cute and playful, and I got a wonderful message from a camp saying that child has passed and we're not using that photo anymore, and we don't think the family is comfortable using the photo. So we pulled it, and we want you to know that the family's wishes and your concerns come first. So if you have a photo that you have technically released to us and something changes, please let us know, and we will do our best to pull those photos and appropriately remove those marketing materials. The photo release, we also know that it has been requested that it come in different languages, Spanish, and I think someone just asked for it in French. So we will for sure be, that is on our radar. We haven't gotten it done today, but that is something that we will definitely be doing as well. Next slide, Lexi. We are hoping to share the care with you. We're hoping to connect with you more this year, back to that connection. Before you fill out your grant application, we're asking you to add a link to care camps on your website so that people can see that we are one of your donors and that we support you. We would like you to follow care camps on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. We're going to make concerted efforts to boost our social media. And as you like and share with us, we will like and share back, and just create that synergy together on social. Again, just with tagging and sharing, that will be fun, I think, as you start to see your camps and your photos show up. It'll just be really fun for you to share that with your camp community. And then last, we would like you to use the Care Camps logo when it's appropriate and when it's possible. We understand that that's not always gonna work, but when you see moments that you can include us and bring us in, we would love to see that happen. Next slide, Lexi. Before I go into this slide, Gwen, do you have anything you want to add to this marketing piece?
Thank you. Well, I think just in general, I just wanted to give a big echo of what Erica just said about the photos. We really we want to be good stewards here of the children that you all care for. And we hold these children very precious in their families. So please, if there's any discrepancy, any concerns, please feel free to reach out to us in this way. Our goal here really is, again, partnership here. We want to, the more that we can raise awareness about care camps and educate people about care camps, we have the same opportunity to raise awareness about your camps and to educate, a lot of people far and wide about your camps here, and to engage them in our partnership together so that we can benefit more. So I just wanted to put an echo on that. And also, we do have an information, so you'll see on our website, Erica will show that in just a minute here. But we do have an information sheet that really outlines kind of all these quote requirements. And again, it's just information that we really need. We actually took some time this year to go through the application itself and to really get it down, more to essence of the information that really helps us, cultivate donors here, and as well as, information that we need about your camps to determine, the grants themselves. I will say, just in full transparency too, anybody that, that applies for a grant gets a grant from us. And we do need the information here that we've asked for. So again, it's a partnership together on this. And again, just we're trying to make this process as simple and easy for you. Like Lexi created, I want to give Lexi a big shout out here for creating the formula, the cost per day per child. She really got that down to a much simpler, hopeful process for each of you. So just know that, we really did take, even though, we got announced as new, we've been spending a lot of time, in our new weeks together, really focusing on this here for you all. So I think that's all I have to say. Lexi, you got anything else to add to that?
Here's the information sheet you will find on our website. It has all of the information we kind of went over, and some. It has information about the marketing communication. It has where you can get our logo, all of the things, the impact stories that Erica spoke about for the requirements this year, has the timeline. And then if you have any questions, my email is here at the bottom. So feel free to reach out and we will do our best to get you the answers and everything you need from myself, Gwen, and Erica with the help of Jennifer. Erica, I'll turn it back over to you.
I think we just want to let you know that we won't leave you hanging. You're not alone in this. We got you by the ankles, upside down, across a zip line. We're so excited to work with you and to grow our partnership and our connection with each other. So don't be afraid to reach out. I think we'll open it up for questions with Jennifer.
Yeah, so great info. Thank you, ladies. I did see a question about, is there a link to the formula sheet for question 40 in the grant application, Lexi?
There is a link right when you're going through it. You'll be able to click on it and it will download right to your computer and open up in Excel, and you'll be able to fill out the information and put it back on question number 40. But if you have any questions with that, please feel free to reach out to me. But it is on the application through the online version. Obviously, the PDF version is just for you to be able to print off, make some notes, but on the online version, you'll be able to click and get that Excel document.
Okay, great, thank you. Another question, one of the camps is trying to start a spring teen camp in 2024. Can we apply for funding in the cycle? If we wait until 2024, we'll be doing the camp during the application period.
So we look at all options and we take everything into consideration. So we know you all have unique circumstances, unique camps, unique timelines and timeframes. So please make sure to put that in your information, and we will definitely consider that. We want to be as helpful as we can. And we know that you will need that funding, obviously, this year, because next year won't be the time. That time won't work out for you. So definitely make sure to note that in your application, and we will look at that and make that consideration. Gwen, do you have anything on that one?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for the transparency about
Yes.
that. And that's what we ask for. Just give us the information, and you know, we want to do our best here to support you all in those efforts. So just, you know, again, give us technically the funding, the funding that we provide is for this year's programs and services. And, there are these extraordinary situations here that we will certainly consider. So thank you for that.
I think the more you can provide us with, the more we can bring to our grant committee and get that.
Lexi, if you don't mind, I'm going to dive in. There was a question that just came up. Is there a working version of the application available? Lexi's going to post a PDF version of the application on our webpage here, where the grant application is located. So that should be up to date sometime. We do need for everybody to complete the application that's formatted in SurveyMonkey, because this really, what we need to do is to be able to pull all the information together in one place here. So as we're going through and making our determinations, our funding determinations, it's all right there. So we really do, the final application itself does need to be submitted through SurveyMonkey, but you can certainly, there'll be a PDF version that you can kind of play with and get all your information together, and then, just hopefully be able to go in and just get it all done.
Yep. So if you go here to our website, there's a place here that says apply for a grant right here. And if you click on that, it will open up the grant itself and you can walk through applying. It'll also have the information sheet here. It'll link you back to the information sheet. So that'll all be there. And then, like Gwen mentioned, we will put a link to a PDF version. So you'll be able to print it off and make some notes and then transfer it all to the online application. And we appreciate you all doing that, like Gwen said, so we can have it in all one section.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the shout outs here in the chat box. Really thank you all for giving us the feedback here, because the more the feedback, that we get from you, the better we can make this process for everybody. So I want to thank you. I know Erica, really sat with many of you all this past year at your conference, and was able to, and she really brought that back. She heard you. She wrote everything down. We've huddled together a lot around this, because we really want your time and energy to be spent towards the kids and not being frustrated with this application.
And look what just showed up. You can download the grant application. Look at this, you guys. So this is super exciting. So here it is, and you'll be able to download it in a PDF version and print it off. So that's there now. I'm going to have it moved up a little bit so it's easier to find right up here, but it is here now. So you can download it and print it off and fill out your information, and then go to the online version and put all the information in, so you don't feel pressured to fill it out online right away. You'll be able to take your time and fill it out. Some people like hand and paper, and I agree. So I'm all about printing. So there you go. Any additional questions, Jennifer?
Yeah, so question about the photo release. Care Camps has a photo release for the camps to use. As you know, some of the camps have already opened their application process and they have their own photo release, and they're asking Is it acceptable to use the camp's photo release? So now they don't have to go back to the camps that have, I mean, the families that have already enrolled for this year and ask them to complete another release form.
Gwen or Erica, I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, I think that we just want the families to know if you are going to be
Timelines and
sharing,
things, and so
if you are going to be sharing
sorry.
a photo with us, then we want the parents to know that it's being shared with us. So however, you choose to do that, if that's written out in your photo release, that it would be possibly, it would be shared beyond your camp. I just think, transparent, again, coming back to transparency. Erica?
Sorry, I think we definitely, it's on our radar to get that to you sooner. Just acknowledging your timeframes, and that's something that we will we'll continue to work through as far as getting that to you sooner. Yeah, Gwen, I guess I would say we would circle back with our legal counsel and just make sure that we're covered if you send one from you to us and not fill out ours. Let us get back to you
Reach
on
out
that.
to us. Yeah, just reach out to us, individually here. And again, we're kind of working through this too, because we just want to make sure everybody, all of us are covered, from a liability standpoint here. So, and I understand, they're just different. Sometimes there's just can't be one template that covers all situations here. So we want to be mindful of that.
Okay, a couple of more questions. One camp is asking if they intend to apply for two programs, their traditional summer program and a sibling program. Is that still two separate applications?
Yes, it is. And I just adjusted this morning. I just adjusted our back end. So you can now apply twice. Please make sure that you're specific about which camp you're applying for. And please note that you have to turn in the required documents for each camp. So make sure that you're doing two separate applications and two separate set of financial documents, so that we make sure we have all the information we need from both a legal standpoint and then also for our information, so that we make sure we can get you the correct funding and one doesn't get lost in the mix. So yes, you can now do that, and it will now allow for you to do that now that our back end has been adjusted for that. Gwen, do you have anything?
No, I think you covered it there.
Great.
There was a
Okay.
question here. I was looking at the about examples of the capital grants. And that's really, like equipment, particularly that would help improve your programs and services. I will say at the very end of that particular, as Lexi mentioned, the first part of the application, the way it's formatted, questions 1 through 52, that's for the operating grant. And everybody, you all apply for an operating grant. Now, if you want to say, we need some sports equipment, or we need some mattresses, or we need more, protective equipment, or something of that sort, there's we kind of list out your top 3 items that would be helpful, and how much, each of these items, what you're asking for each of those items. The very last question we have on there is, if you had one wish for a big ticket item that your camp needs to improve your services and program, what would it be? So let's just say we can't promise anything. And if I could, I would have a magic wand and just make all this happen for you and with you. But here's what, if, let's just say somebody said, we need a tractor. And this kind of gives us a little bit of, we get to stretch ourselves, as possible, as feasible, as realistic, as, again, don't want to overpromise and underdeliver here. However, if we have the opportunity to go to John Deere and say, look, there's a camp that needs a tractor. It opens up more opportunities for all of us here of cultivating them as partner, a stakeholder with us, and also possibly them just saying, okay, here's a tractor. Give it to them. Who knows? I mean, we're all, we don't want to limit things. Again, we've got more funds set aside for the operating grants than we do the capital grants. So just be mindful here, we want to be able to request and give out as much as we can to everybody. So, but nothing wrong with asking for something big in there.
Any other questions, Jennifer?
Yeah, there was one about going back to the photo release. Do the parents have to physically sign an ink, or can we upload your release and have them check a box to consent or not, and then electronic signature as part of their online camp application?
So you will see here, it says typing your name above as a parent or legal guardian represents your electronic signature. So that should answer that, correct, Erica and Gwen?
I think so. I think
Yep.
I think we're acknowledging electronic signature is okay with that.
Yep. And this is from Eric and Gwen have mentioned, this is from our legal standpoint. So this has been reviewed by our legal counsel, and they have drafted this for us so that all of our, we're all covered. All of us are all covered, so.
I see a question here from Jamie here. If we have a survivors camp, sibling camp, and a separate teen camp, can we do the application 3 times? Now, there's camps and then there's sessions here. So if you're under your camp that you're offering a session for siblings, a session for teens, a session for survivors, that's all under one camp. So please make the distinction if you're for your camp versus your sessions. Does that make sense?
Yes, and we have certain questions in here that talk directly about camp sessions. And I'll have to find it really quick for you, but right here. So you'll be able to kind of, when you're going through the application, you'll be able to kind of figure out if you need to apply for another grant or not, and if you fit within any of these items. And please reach out to us. I mean, we want to help you as much as possible, but we also don't want people applying for 15 different grants, because then that becomes, everybody gets a little less money that way. We want to try and award everybody an amount, but if we have everybody applying for each session, that becomes a little too much. So please just, try and think of others when you're applying for this, and think of the other camps who are also applying. But if you have any direct questions about that or need any direct answers, reach out. Any other questions that we can answer? And like Erica said, we are available here if you have any, if you come up with any questions or you're going through the application, we're available as a resource for you all. And we want to make this process as stress-free and as an easy lift for you all, because the work you're already doing is so wonderful, and we just want to make it easy on you all. So we're here to help. So please reach out, and please utilize us as a resource for any further questions.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Ladies, I should say, Gwen, Erica, and Lexi, we really appreciate you being with us today and going through this grant process with us. And thanks to all of my COCA members out there. I wish you the very best in working through the grant application and getting ready for this summer. Let us know how we can help you. Thanks for being with us today, everybody. Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.